So here we are, day 25 after surgery, and 25 days since stepping back in the gym. I've been in the strength and conditioning world, or whatever you want to call it, for a good 10 years now. I've been a coach for 5 years, and I was never afraid of a little bit of hard work here and there. I love training in the gym. Most of the sessions each day would last for 3, sometimes 4 hours each day, and I loved it. It was the best. It was my way of escaping things in a way. So it was almost weird for me to only receive, after such a big event, the surgery, to only have 2 little exercises to do. So I pretty much stuck to it as best I could. Like I said in the past video, I do the morning and night. This was my knee extension exercise, which I do 20 reps at a time, and I do 3 sets of it. Slowly over time, it's getting better and better. The quad activation is slowly coming in, and there's actually a little bit of muscle that looks to be forming back and regenerating. So I only assumed that the hypothesis that the surgeon was going after was pretty much trying to pull the joint into play by making sure the joint is straight the whole time so that the tissue will grow back that way. From my understanding in the past, tissue will grow back to whatever the position of the joint it's pushed into. So, for instance, you may see some guys around the gym that big dudes, always working chest, for instance, but have such rolled forward shoulders, and it never seems to get any better. And those guys that keep pushing chest, bench press, trying to get their chest bigger and stronger, because their idea is that if they grow their chest any bigger, then the chest will form and kind of straighten out their posture in a way. As opposed to maybe working the backside, if they work their back, it would lock the shoulders back and down a little bit more, and that improve their posture. So I'm assuming that's exactly what the surgeon's trying to get us to do, trying to get the joint to stay in that straightened position as much as I can throughout the whole day, so that the tissue forms back that way, so that the tissue will then grow back to its normal position. And then the same thing for the backside of the hamstrings, just trying to get it somewhat strong so that the muscles can actually pull the knee like so. That's where I brought this exercise into play. Super straightforward. I've never actually done these in my life, but it made sense to me. The way that the calf is formed, with the soleus being a predominant force to pull the knee into place, the calf has a strong responsibility to pull the knee into flexion. So I knew from my past experiences that this exercise would help with pulling the knee and forming that flexion again, because that's probably my biggest weakness right now is the knee. I have hardly any flexion. When I sit off the end of a couch, it just reaches 90 degrees between the knee to the thigh. But other than that, there's a bit of work to do. So from here this day, I wanted to form a little bit of a baseline to just see where I'm at. So I gave myself a few exercises, super simple. I wanted to do a max pull-up, just body weight work, max push-up, a max hollow hold, max dead hang, and I think that was it. So for this one, this actually surprised me. I got 20 reps, just scraped it out for the pull-ups. And the other one is I want to try to stick really true to form. So I want to work to mechanical failure instead of pushing maybe 2 or 3 extra reps in each set and compromising on my form. So mechanical failure just meaning exactly that. You probably hold a couple reps left in the tank, but you're staying true to form, and you're staying nice and locked in overall. So this one was the push-ups. once again, I haven't done a whole lot of bodyweight work in the past 12 months or so. So I was pretty surprised with my result from the push-ups. I got 54 all up, I think I remember. And as you can see, I tried to keep as much weight off of that knee as I could, and I used the brace as well just for, just be a little bit safe with it. But pretty much all the weight is in my opposite leg, just because I didn't want to put the knee into too much extension and potentially put a little bit of stress on it. So, happy days on that one. Then I think, we did a press with the plate. So this one too, I would prefer to do it with the barbell, just because it's a bit more of a power lift, as opposed to right now there's a lot more moving positions, and I have to hold a lot more through my core. So it's not the most powerful position to be seated, but I wanted an overall picture, and I wanted to try to pull the core into play with this one, because when I do eventually get back on the 14-footer, then, there's a large emphasis on pulling through the upper body but bracing through the core. If I have any kind of weakness through the core and it becomes unstable and an instability throughout the lift, then that can cause problems through my lower back. So I know right now with all the sitting that I'm doing through ice in the knee all the time that my core is going to suffer a bit. So I just want to make sure that we can try to minimise that as best as we can. And this was my dead hang. Pretty straightforward, not very good, but I think we got a minute 24. So overall, I was stoked with the results, and now at least I got something to work off of. So the plan is to lock in an 8-month program with 6 to potentially 8 different blocks overall. So with all this data now, I can use that towards the program and get things rocking and rolling.